This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
Welcome to Primates, the podcast that looks at primates in popular culture all the way from chimpan A through to chimpan Z. Little joke there. My name is Matt Stewart and welcome to this great show.
Hey, that's not true. I'm Matt Stewart. Nah, good on us. We've all had a bit of fun there.
We're all Matt Stewart.
No, I'm Matt Stewart.
What? This is some sort of a trip out. What are we in, some sort of comic book universe?
No, he's Matt Stewart.
No, I'm Matt Stewart.
This week we're joined by two very special guests, including that man you heard before, Matt Stewart, from the Do Go On podcast and Book Cheat podcast. It's Dave Warneke, Matt Stewart.
Great to be here. I feel like I'm the second best Matt Stewart in the room. But
No doubt about that. And the best Matt Stewart in the room is, of course, artist Peader Thomas. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me here on your podcast, which is also mine.
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
It is.
the number one Matt Stewart, Peter.
Yeah. Oh, no. That's
did it.
That's a heavy mantle that's a heavy crown
Yeah.
to have to wear.
It's the boulder of shame.
That I'm
That you have
pushing
to
up the hill?
push up a hill, yeah.
Oh, forever.
You, of course, as we've mentioned before, you came on and did the Hit Monkey episode, and you designed the logo for this podcast. And also, Dave and my podcast do go on.
That's right. I've designed many a podcast logo.
You really are the illustrator to the podcast stars.
Yeah.
Wait, does that mean you're referring to yourself as a star?
Well, I mean, the joke there is that there are no podcast stars.
It's a good joke.
Yep. Good.
And you guys have come in today to talk about maybe one of the best things that I've ever heard of. And we talked about it briefly last time we were in Peter when we talked about Marvel's Hit Monkey.
Yeah, the spectacular hit monkey, the
you
breakout star.
You uncovered the fact that there are plenty of other Marvel apes and primates. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yep. So we're going to be talking about Marvel Apes, which is a whole universe. So it's like the Marvel universe that you know and love, but everyone is a ape or a simian or a monkey or similar. So it's, all your favorites: Spider-Man, Thor, Iron Man, Ms. Marvel, Spider Monkey, Iron Mandrill, Thor Rangatang, and Miss Marvape, I think is her name, and many more terrible puns.
But then there's also ones like they've listed all of the characters on the Wikipedia page for it, and then there's a bunch of them that are stuff like Captain America.
Yeah, so
a gorilla version of Captain America.
They couldn't get a pun in there.
They've got. there are heaps. There's like Hawk Ape, which is Hawkeye, and Juggermonk.
All right,
Juggernaut.
Let's just pull back a little bit. So in the monkey version, apes are eyes. Is that how we're going to go with this?
Oh, I guess so.
And
it feels like they fill in everything because at one point they talk about Facebook, but they say, I would have put that on my ape book. If we got a photo of that, I would have put that on my ape book. But then that's saying like in their universes that apes are faces.
Yep.
Not feces.
No.
Which brings us to the great promo ad copy that they wrote for this piece. I'm going to read that to you guys now. Peter, you probably have already read it many times. Dave, this might be new to you.
Every night before bed.
I also have a tattoo of this.
Okay, great.
But I've never seen it because it's on my back.
Yeah, it would take up your whole back as well, I reckon. That's what it says.
So if you could just turn around now.
Yeah,
Dave,
here we go.
and
Matt, just read off my back.
Thank you very much. Okay, Dave, if you could lift your shirt. Thank you.
Impressively muscular back, you'll all agree.
Okay. The words are much bigger on your deltoids, which is potentially a back muscle. All right. Flinging feces, true believer.
I've got that tattooed on me.
The entire Marvel universe has gone ape. Just when he thinks life can't get any worse or weirder, Marty Blank, a.k.a. the lovable loser, the Gibbon, finds himself and the brilliant and beautiful Dr. Fiona Fitzhugh transported to a world where monkeys rule and humans don't exist. See the spectacular simian city of Monkhattan. Meet the hominoid heroes and villains, Spider Monkey, Doc Ock, Iron Mandrill, Simian Torch, the Ape Vengers, and more.
What's Dr. Ook?
That's Dr. Octopus.
Oh, is an Ook an ape that I'm not familiar with?
No, ook is the sound that apes make.
Oh, Ook.
Sorry.
Oh, Ook.
I
Sorry.
think it's pronounced Dr. Ook.
I also agree that's a stretch. And there's a few stretches in here. That feels the stretchiest of them all. Anyway, it goes on. Thrilled to the return of Speedball. Contains no ads, as we are thrilled to present you backup tales exploring the Apiverse. Learn the dark secret of the primate planet. Worry that the fate of the entire universe is in the hands of the gibbon. Not a hoax, not a dream, not an imaginary story, just the most not-to-be-missed mini-series of the season. If you only buy one, well, two comics this month about superpowered, intelligent apes and capes, it must be Marvel Apes.
Oh, I'm afraid I already blew my budget on Super Ape.
So you can only get one this month.
Oh, no. Damn.
So obviously they released, because it's a 4-part series.
Yep.
Extended to 5 because they did a prequel.
Yeah, so
Issue 0.
And there were spin-off series. This was so popular that they had other stories about other apes and other ape super teams in the Marvel Apes universe. So, yeah, the first issue was like it was a little bit of info about the gibbon, who's the main character of this story.
Marty Blank.
Marty Blank.
So
yeah.
he's not a superhero I'm familiar with. He's just a regular, everyday Marty Joe Blank.
Yeah, well, he was a Spider-Man villain in the 60s.
Wow, they were really scraping the barrel.
Yeah. So he's not a big villain. He's not a Dr. Octopus. He's not a Green Goblin.
Dr. Ook.
No.
Please.
Yeah, now we're starting to get our wires crossed. Dr. Ook. So he was like he was a guy that wasn't very good. Like, he wasn't very good at being a supervillain. He was part of a supervillain team called the Spider-Man Revenge Squad, who were all united because Spider-Man had beaten them up. And I think they were kind of duds.
And were they not renamed the Loser Crew or something?
Yeah, I think Spider-Man they wanted to call themselves the Spider-Man Revenge Club, but Spider-Man thought that they were the Legion of Losers. Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I've already registered your domain for you, so...
And I think at some point in the first issue, the gibbon says it was more appropriate.
Yeah.
Fair play, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So he was a villain, but he was really inspired by Spider-Man, and he became like a good guy. But he's still not treated very seriously, and he's not a big name in our world or in the world of the Marvel
Right, does he have any superpowers at all?
I think he has the proportionate strength of a gibbon. He's very athletic.
Yeah.
And importantly, he looks like a gibbon.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
He's a monkey-looking individual. I think he might be a mutant. I'm not really sure. I couldn't quite figure out where he gets his powers from.
It sounds like the Doctor in this thinks that maybe he's just somehow come from this other reality.
Yes, that is teased.
So if he's actually a character from the 60s, were they thinking about this world for many years?
Oh, maybe this is part of like a grand arching.
I mean, why else would he look like a gibbon when everyone else looks like humans?
I think because a lot of Spider-Man villains were animal-based. So you had Dr. Octopus, you had the lizard, you had the scorpion, you had the chameleon, you had the porcupine,
The centipede.
Michael Keaton's character, what's that? Some sort of bird in the most recent movie?
Birdman? Oh, the vulture. Sorry.
The vulture.
Yes.
I also thought Birdman.
Harvey
yeah.
Birdman.
Yeah, the vulture. Like so the gibbon was just another in a long line of animal-themed spider villains.
Well, that's a gibbon. But, sorry about that. So the gibbon, yeah, he's kind of, he wants to be a superhero.
Yeah.
All he wants is to be involved in the Avengers or something like that.
Yeah, he's just a bit of a schmuck.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, he's a bit of a loser.
He's a bit of a wuss. But
So if even Peter Parker's bullying him,
Yep.
that's pretty tragic.
yeah.
Peter Parker, that's part of his origin story is that he wants to be Spider-Man's like partner, and Spider-Man laughs in his face, and then so he turns to evil or something like that.
Yeah, it does feel weird that some of the superheroes are such assholes. Because, I mean, isn't the whole Peter Parker thing is like, oh, he just wants to be, at least in the MCU, he's like, I want to be around Iron Man. I want to help out. And then someone does that to him and he's like, fuck off, idiot. It's brutal. Like, where's the empathy, bro?
Oh, it's a power levels kind of thing. It's
Right.
everyone's sort of punching down. Yeah.
Okay.
It's brutal.
Yeah, what a brutal universe.
Yeah. And speaking of brutal universes, Marvel Apes,
Yeah.
So
it
when
is.
was
It
this
really is.
published?
2008.
Right.
2008.
So I've got to say, I heard this concept. It did flash back to, Matt, on our other podcast, Do Go On, we had Nick Mason from the Weekly Planet podcast do a sort of history of Marvel episode. So we do reports on topics, and that was the topic of that episode. And he did start it by saying that there was a period in the 80s where they were nearly bankrupt. And I thought, how could that be true? And now I've heard ideas like this, and I think that could definitely be true.
No, this is Marvel at the height of their power. Like in
They've
2008,
gone wild with power.
Yeah.
Let's make an ape universe. Oh no, everyone's penguins. Oh no, it's set on planet fuck.
Oh, you've read the Fuck series.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Everyone's a porn star.
Planet Fuck.
Could that be a thing?
Yeah, could be.
It
I mean,
is.
it definitely is a thing somewhere out there on the internet. But whether or not it's published by Marvel,
I see.
we'll see what happens next week.
Here's a review from IGN.com. Said, even to the most ardent worshipper at the Fellowship of Comic Book Gimmickry, which I don't think is a real thing, to be honest, the idea of
No, it's a building. It's it's down there next to the Safeway.
even to them, those people down near Safeway, the idea of parading a bunch of monkeys around in superhero outfits would have to cause a momentary pause of trepidation. To no one's surprise, Marvel Apes is indeed stupid, predictable, and mildly patronizing in its very existence. Though if you can get past the beaucoup of cringeworthy ape puns, it does construct a slight amount of puerile endearment.
Is that also a description of this episode of this show?
Yeah, I think so.
You can get past the terrible puns. 2008.
Well, now I've got to edit out two things. Yeah, so I mean, this guy, he did say that he went into it thinking it was going to be awful, and he found some enjoyment in it, but it was still pretty bad.
Yeah.
But then you said that it was very successful as well.
Well, it was successful enough that they made other ones.
Yeah, and I read the first issue last night and today. It took me 2 sittings. But I thought it was fun. Although I don't have a huge experience of reading comics. It was the second one I've read. But out of the 2 that I've read, it was good.
What was the other one?
Tism Volume 2.
That classic MCU.
No, it's an indie. So
Right. Okay.
you haven't read the Tism
No.
comics? There's two of them out there. I bought one of them online for a pretty penny. Cost 1 penny. And it didn't. I think I spent like $200 on it. But
Legit?
I can't remember.
Wow.
Let's get back to the Marvel Apes. Stop asking me all these questions. I'm not on trial here. Octopus is.
That's right. So, do we want to?
Yeah, maybe do you want to give us
dive into the story?
Yeah, I reckon.
So we start off with our aforementioned hero Marty Blank, aka the Gibbon, and
I love him. I love him so much.
yeah, he's a lovable loser. We keep being told he's a lovable loser. Like,
Is that his motto? I'm a lovable loser. And everyone's like, you're a loser. But
Yeah, no one loves you, mate. Marty.
if I keep saying it, people will start loving me. You love me. Marty, that's pretty desperate. See a lot of myself in this guy.
I don't think he really does believe that himself either.
no, that he's lovable
Yeah.
or that he's a loser.
He's definitely he doesn't have great self-worth.
No, he doesn't. So the story starts with him sort of explaining who he is. He heads down to the bank. He's going to do some banking. And then
Exciting start.
Yeah,
Exciting
it's a real
start.
exciting start. But while he's there, it gets attacked by the Red Ghost and his team of super apes, who are some super villains. And he thinks, all right, brilliant. Now I'm here. I'm going to stop these guys. But then the Avengers come in and he gets hit on the head and falls down.
But it's a bit of a fake out because the Red Ghost, Marty stands up. He says, "You won't be doing." He stands up to him, and the Red Ghost, looking back at him, goes, "No, it can't be." But it's a fake out because he's looking over his shoulder at the Avengers.
Yeah.
So it's
right.
a heartbreaking moment because for a second he thinks, "Oh wow, I'm putting the fear into this guy."
And yeah, he pretty much just hides behind a pot plant for the rest of this supervillain fight. And then we hear a little bit of Marty's backstory about how, all the stuff we talked about before, how he was
It is interesting that they talk about him like he's a coward, but I mean that shows that he's not a coward. He was single-handedly stood up to a supervillain and his gang of apes.
Yeah, he's just a dud.
He's a dud. He's not. Yeah, he's. Sorry.
Anyway,
Can I just ask, are we already in the ape universe?
no, not yet. We're in the normal Marvel universe.
But the Red Ghost, he's got a gang of apes, did you say?
That's right,
So
yeah.
they're already in the normal Marvel universe, they're ape.
yeah, but they're actual apes. They're apes
Cool,
with
cool.
superpowers
Yep.
that were given to them. They're
Given.
given to them by cosmic rays on the moon in the 60s, I think, as well.
Dave, if you're not on board with bad ape puns today,
I'm looking for an opportunity to get my own one in, so just wait a few minutes.
just today, you can get back to hating them tomorrow, but today you got to be on board with.
Oh,
this.
no. Well, usually on our other show, I'm a big fan of puns, Matt, and you're the one who, when we call you the Pun King, are not a fan of that title.
Well, we
It's just
haven't even.
I'm unworthy of it. That's all.
It's a heavy thing to wear the crown.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
So we haven't even gotten into the. Don't worry, there'll be plenty of puns to come.
Thank you so much. If you could just sort of set one up for me and I could spike it down, that would be really appreciated.
Okay. So Marty is down on his luck, and he decides to go to the local university because there's someone's wanted superhuman people to run some tests on them to do experiments or something, the research project. And there he meets our other hero, Dr. Fiona. What's her name? Fitzhugh. And so she's like a super scientist. She's interested in his genetics, and then later on she builds a portal into another world. So she's like multidisciplinary.
Right. And when you say super scientist, is that some sort of hero as well?
No, she's
Just very good at science.
she's just very good at any science.
And she said so. She won an award for multidisciplinary science excellence.
Pretty much, if you're a scientist in the Marvel universe, it means that you know everything about every field
Right,
of science.
Sure.
Yeah.
She's an all-rounder.
Yeah, she's an all-rounder. So she and Marty, they accidentally get sucked into another universe. There's an explosion, and one of the devices zaps Marty, and he is somehow like connected to this other universe that they get pushed into. And the universe they get pushed into is the Marvel Apes universe. And they arrive there, and they're in Monkhattan, right? So this is the start of all of these
real bad.
really great puns.
What about like Chimpanhattan or something?
That feels closer. But yeah, I feel like they just didn't need to do that at all. But what can they called it? Ape New York.
Yes. I would have been
New
on board
York.
for that.
So they're in Ape New York, and Ape New York is covered in vines, and people play basketball, but they're on bars.
It's called Barball.
Barball.
I mean, basketball. Do they still have a basket they put it in?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
it's a
No,
hoop.
they have rings at the end.
Okay.
It's like a sort of a jungle gym kind of thing.
But it's a basket as much as a basketball hoop is a basket.
Yeah, sure. Basketball. Anyway, please.
So Marty looks at home in this world because he looks kind of like a sort of humanoid gibbon.
Finally.
Yeah. So he's kind of
He's
he
a
can
fish
pass.
into water. He's a fish into water.
He's a fish into water. Unfortunately, Fiona looks like a normal human being, so everyone is horrified and repulsed by her. So they have to sort of, we're trying to figure out where they are and what they're going to do. She has to kind of hide her appearance. Otherwise, everyone gets kind of, the normal citizens of Ape New York get kind of upset and worried about her.
Right, even though I imagine there's dozens of different chimps in this ape universe.
We'll meet later on that there are, every type of monkey and ape, gorillas, orangutans, mandrills. Matt, you can jump in at any time and name an ape.
Spider monkeys.
Yes, spider monkeys.
Wow.
So while they're walking around Monkhattan, they run into Dr. Octopus, who is harassing some people. I'm not really sure. And he is stopped by some monkey superheroes. So we have Monkey Speedball. Speedball is a character from the Marvel Universe.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Not just lethal cocktail of heroin and cocaine.
That's taken down many celebrities over
Yeah.
the years. But But it sounds like this is some sort of return for Speedball.
Yeah, so at this time in the normal Marvel universe, I think Speedball, he's responsible for all of the superheroes having fights with each other in a giant crossover event called the Marvel Civil War. So he accidentally blows up, I think, like a kindergarten and several square blocks, and so he is hated in the normal Marvel
Square
universe.
blocks in the kindergarten. I mean, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
There'd probably be a bunch of different toys that got blown up.
Yeah, it's a lot more damage than that, I would assume.
Yeah. Why are you specifying just one kind of toy? It's weird.
What about the sandpit? Is that all right?
It was gone too.
Oh, wow.
God.
Yeah. Name another toy. It was gone.
Train set?
Obliterated. Gone.
Jesus.
So he's kind of like hated.
And did that event start this civil war? The exploding of the kindergarten?
Yeah, he was. I'm trying to remember. He was part of like a reality TV show that followed around superheroes. So he and his superhero team were like,
I'm amazed. They've done it all. It's amazing.
hey, let's go and tackle this supervillain called Nitro. Nitro's the exploding man, I think. So Nitro's power is to blow up. And these guys went to go and have a fight with him, but they were, they were chasing the TV ratings and
Chasing the
probably
dragon.
not being
Speedball.
very safe. And then they have a fight with him like next to a school, and then he explodes and everyone dies. And then there's a fight between superheroes and stuff. But that's a whole nother story, Dave.
What? Right. But this is Ape Speedball.
This is Ape Speedball, so he's real good.
And he's not hated in this universe.
No, not at all. And Marty touches on that it's like, oh, hey, you're Speedball, but everyone hates you back in the real, not the real. This is also real, but in
my universe.
In the Marvel universe that we know and love.
When he says stuff like that to people, do they look at him like he's insane?
Most of it is in
the square boxes, which means that
in
that's
a
to us?
narration.
Right.
Soliloquies.
Yes, that's right. He's kind of describing the story or describing his thoughts while he thinks them, as he thinks them to us.
Oh, right. But he's not saying to the guy, hey, you're hated in my universe. And the guy's like, what the hell are you talking about?
Can I, just to jump back for 1 second, in that ad copy that I read before, what does True Believer mean?
True Believer is, it's a Stan Lee kind of ism. Like it's something that Stan Lee would say on the first page of every comic, is to try and, hey, True Believers, we're ready. Get ready for one of the most fantastic, amazing stories you've ever seen.
Oh, so this is another for reader.
Yeah.
It's like a
So this thing is
flinging feces. True Believer.
So it's imitating his kind of cadence and the kind of words that he would say. This book is dense with Marvel stuff. There are so many people in the backgrounds of the scenes. Like there's this whole. You need to know about that Speedball was a
right. So there's lots of references for like the big Marvel fans.
Yeah, or just to try and understand the story. You're supposed to know all these other things about everything that's in the universe, which can be a bit hard.
So it's for the True Believers.
Yeah,
because if I'd read it and he'd said in the square box like, "Oh, that guy's hated in my universe," I'd be like, "What's wrong with this guy?"
Yeah. But maybe you'd go and you'd read all, 27 issues of the Civil War.
Clever,
series
good marketing.
And all the spin-offs and everything. So, yeah. So maybe it's not so bad there, Dave.
I just took it for a gibbon. Am I saying that right?
No, you got it. Anyway, so Speedball and this other monkey called Monkey X.
Who's new.
Ape X.
Which they say in the thing.
It's not important that he's new.
But
really,
they say, doesn't he say?
I've
never
a new
heard
one. Well, everyone else is like an ape knockoff of another hero, but there's no Ape X.
Yeah,
the other universe.
And I'm pretty sure the gibbon says so.
Yeah, in the little box, too.
Oh,
yeah. Little boxes are kind of like thought bubbles.
I never knew that.
Yeah, but not necessarily. They're mostly just narration.
Right, and how do you? But if it's the character saying it, does it just sort of? The box comes from their head type thing?
No, it sometimes either it's all the same voice giving all of the same thing, talking in the little boxes every time, or sometimes what they do is they color code different people if you have different narrators. It's like in a book where you'd have a narrator and then you'd assume that they were a certain person if unless they were yeah.
Cool. No, I'm learning. I'm enjoying this.
Anyway, so he has a fight with Dr. Octopus. He doesn't really do a lot, but all of the other superheroes get very excited about him being there and decide to introduce him to the Avengers.
Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, not the Avengers, the Ape Vengers.
Oh, that's good. That they did a lot of marketing workshopping with that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, when you avenge something, do you ape venge it? Like, what's that?
Well, they do.
They do in the world, but
They're not even all apes. Spider-Man's a spider monkey's a monkey.
yeah. Anyway, so he gets taken to meet the Avengers, and they take Fiona to the Fantastic Four because they think that the Fantastic Four can help her. So they kind of split up. So Marty goes and meets the Avengers, and they take the captured Dr. Octopus and say, well, we're going to put him on trial for being, Dr. Octopus. We're going to put him on trial, and Fiona goes and sees the Fantastic Four because she thinks that they can help Reed Richards, the greatest scientist of all, can help her get back to our normal dimension.
Right, but Marty's like, I don't want to go back. I'm cool here.
Marty's pretty okay at this point.
He's in the Eight Avengers.
Yeah, that's right.
That was his dream.
He's living his dreams. And he said that a few times. He said, this is like a dream.
Yeah, it's everything that he ever wanted. He's no longer an outcast. Everyone thinks that he's really great. But then things start to turn.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So when they say they're going to put Dr. Octopus on trial, what they really mean is they're going to beat the crap out of him because they're all...
In the round.
In the round, yeah. They've got this sort of weird pit that they all go into.
Oh, so they don't have a court system in this universe?
No, apparently not. It's all just rule of the jungle, which Marty, even though he looks like a gibbon, is, he's just a normal, regular guy.
Well, that's a gibbon.
Yeah.
All right, that's the last one.
I don't think it's going to be the last one. Be honest with the listeners.
Okay.
And Marty is kind of, even though he has such respect for Captain America, the human version and the giant silverback gorilla version, he starts to think, oh, this is all a bit weird.
Surely Captain Ape America.
But he's not.
No, he's not. In fact, when Fiona meets him, she says, oh, maybe I should call him Captain Ape America.
Oh, does she?
Yeah. And Marty says, don't be insensitive. And I'm just so confused about it. Because it's not Ape America. They live in America.
Right.
They are the United Simians of America.
Oh.
The USA.
Right. The United Simians of America. But he still has somehow attained the rank of captain.
That's right.
Even though they don't have ranks in this jungle hierarchy.
No, they do. And they also had World War II.
Really? Germans?
Yeah, there are monkey Germans as well.
Amazing.
History pretty much
Germandrils.
History has pretty much gone exactly the same way, even though everyone is an ape. And
it kind of makes the butterfly effect seem like a piece of crap, doesn't it? A butterfly flapping its wings, everything changes. Well, you change all humans to apes and monkeys.
Nothing
not
happens.
a lot changes.
Everything is exactly the same, except they don't have a court system.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all of the superheroes beat the crap out of Dr. Octopus.
And is there like a Colosseum style people watching on?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Well, it's other superheroes and stuff, right?
It's other superheroes. It's all your favorite Marvel superheroes like Hawk Ape.
Ape is just it's a real handy, versatile word in this world.
Yeah.
It means I, it means a, and it means face.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, yeah, the list goes on of the words that ape can easily replace. So after that, all the superheroes leave. Oh, sorry. While this fighting is going on, where they're tearing Dr. Octopus to shreds, Captain America is apparently staring at Marty the whole time, just looking at him, going, "Hey, this is." Are you enjoying this? 'Cause this is the way that things are.
You like it?
Are you with us or are you against us?
It's like some weird sex club.
Yeah.
You like that? You like? Is this what you're into? And he's like, no.
No, Marty is definitely not into it.
This weird sex club where apes are tearing each other apart.
And he keeps looking at him like, huh? Yeah? Huh?
Yeah. Like that ape action over there? Huh?
No?
No? Okay.
What if I do this? Punch him in the leg? No? All right. Keep trying.
So after they've beaten him up, he's still alive, and everyone else has left. And then we see these shadowy figures emerge and start to talk to Captain America. So these guys are the Invaders. They were a team of superheroes during World War II, and it's kind of weird to see them because most of them should be dead.
Right.
And they're kind of acting evil.
Is this it? Because I missed this. Is this moved into number 2?
Yeah, so we're in number 2 now. This is 4 issues, so we're gonna get along at
pushing through.
A quick clip. So we meet the Invaders, who kind of seem more evil than they should be. They're superheroes. They include the Human Torch.
I know him.
Sorry, the Ape Torch. No, not that one. Different one.
Not the Human Torch.
No,
Not the one that was denied a bank loan.
that's right.
Okay.
No,
Wait, what's that from?
I think it's Anchorman.
Oh, that's one of his warm-up things.
Yeah,
the Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
So
It's so ridiculous. So, but there's 2 Human Torches in the Marvel Universe?
Yes,
So not part of the Fantastic Four.
no,
Johnny Quest or whatever his name is.
Johnny Storm.
Storm.
The original Human Torch is actually an android, and he has a sidekick called Toro, the other Human Torch, and that's the guy who's part of the Invaders and the one that turns up along with the Submariner and Red Raven, who is a giant winged monkey.
Already in the
Already, these are too many characters, too many backstories,
so Red Raven,
too many things to explain.
I just want to know, is Red Raven already a winged ape in the Marvel Universe, or is that just in this ape universe?
Red Raven is a winged person.
Gotcha.
Off the top of my head, I think he comes from a secret city of winged people, but I can't remember.
Okay.
There's just too many people. And Captain America's sidekick, Bucky, who in the normal Marvel universe died in World War II and then is brought back to life, or we think that he's died, and then he becomes the Winter Soldier. But that's again too many plots, too many characters, too many stories.
But in this ape universe, they are evil.
Yeah, it
or
appears
shadowy.
So. Shadowy. They just want to. They seem. It's weird because all the normal superheroes just beat the crap out of this guy, and now you're expected to be going, oh, now these guys are like, I don't know what the difference is at this stage.
Right.
Anyway, so we've seen this. No one else has seen this. This is like Marty doesn't know about this.
Right.
He's just excited to be in the Ape Avengers, right? Hanging out with these heroes, sort of. Then he meets up with Fiona again. She's been hanging out with Reed Richards, and they are going to build an interdimensional portal back home to this normal universe.
Right, so they are going to help. They're going to help her out.
Yeah. At first, Reed Richards thinks that because in this universe, there are too many things going on. Thinks that she is some sort of mutation and not. Yeah, and he wants to try and cure her, and then she says, no, I'm from a different universe. And he says, oh, all good. No worries. Got it.
Do you think it's on purpose that the core pairing is Doc and Marty? As in, like, Back to the Future Doc and Marty?
Maybe.
Or
Oh, man.
That's good.
Because I can't figure out why that would be, but it seems like a big coincidence to have them like that.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, people put in little jokes.
Because initially, Back to the Future, one of the producers said that the Doc's sidekick shouldn't be a dog, but it should be a chimp.
Einstein
should be a chimp. So maybe it's some sort of homage
Yeah, maybe.
to Sidney Schoenberg's suggestion of a chimp sidekick. Do you think it could be?
He's got so many good suggestions, Sydney.
He does.
All right, so moving along, we get Marty's just hanging out while Fiona is building this portal back to their universe with Reed Richards, and they're sitting on this like monkey cafe, which is all of these giant tables suspended in air, sort of like it's this sort of weird jungle gym. Like if the city buildings look normal, there's still like hot dog carts, except they're called banana on a stick. But there are occasionally these weird architectural things designed for apes. Right. So they're just sitting there having a latte, and then Ape Wolverine runs past, and they say, "Well, we have to go catch him because he is a outsider." and then Marty decides not to. Marty's already having some second thoughts about Captain America at this point, and he decides, well, if Captain America gets his hands on Ape Wolverine. Well, actually, I don't know what Wolverine's name is in this.
I think he's just Wolverine.
Okay, cool. If Marty doesn't, if Marty gets, if Captain America gets his hands on Wolverine, then he'll fuck him up as well. So Marty kind of lets Wolverine go while the other superheroes aren't looking. And yeah, there's a big fight, and it goes on for a long time. So cut to that night. It's taken Fiona a day to build an interdimensional travel portal device.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she's pretty great. So he goes to the Fantastic Four's tower, which is covered in vines, like all the other buildings in the
they're
city.
normal only with vines on them.
Yeah, it's I don't know where it's it's like this green wall kind of vertical garden kind of aesthetic that goes everywhere. So I don't like where does all the water come from this? That there must be such like high levels of sophisticated hydroponics and fertilizing that goes on in these sort of ape cities.
And do you still think they use like a lift to get up, or do they just climb on the outside
Maybe
of the building?
Yeah, everyone has like the people have prehensile apes have prehensile tails, and they can swing around. So yeah.
Not allowed in basketball though.
No.
Someone says, "Hey, no prehensile tails," when someone goes slam dunks it, but he used his tail.
Oh, it's
That's
like
an
a
interesting rule.
What a crazy world. Tipsy turvy.
Obviously, we can use our prehensile tails in basketball, but yeah, not in barball.
Do you think that they have basketball as well as barball?
Oh my god.
Like because you've got like what's it like handball or the game that's sort of like soccer and basketball combined together. Is that the one?
You do have handball. You got so many different balls.
Korfball, you got netball, yeah.
Gaelic football.
Yeah, normal football.
baseball.
Yes.
The list goes on.
Yeah, so many balls.
And here's a couple more.
In the ape world though, it's not baseball, it's ape baseball. So yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It is weird.
So Marty turns up. The Fantastic Four are all away because they're fighting the Frightful Four, who are some supervillains. And Marty's like, I know that you're enjoying being in this ape world, but I think it's crazy. We should leave, and we should do it now before anyone finds out or sees us. And so they try and get back through the portal, but it doesn't quite work. And then Captain America shows up, and he's very interested in this portal in a very sinister sort of way.
Oh, no.
So all the good guys, the Ape Avengers, they really are like, they're the bad guys in this.
Well, Captain
Sort of.
America seems like a bad guy at this point.
Yeah.
The Ape Avengers kind of seem just like the normal Avengers, except they're a bit sort of ape-ish.
Right.
So then Captain America starts beating up Marty. He's like, get out of the way. I'm going to use this portal to get to your world.
Why would he want to do that?
Well, what happens next is Mr. Fantastic turns up and says...
here we go, Mr. Fantastic.
So Mr. Fantastic is the stretchy guy.
Right, yeah.
In this thing, he's a mandrill, I think, or some sort of one of those sort of pack monkeys.
Can he still stretch?
Yeah, he can still stretch. He has his stretchy powers. Yeah, he's just sort of he's got.
He's a baboon.
Baboon. There we go. So he's a baboon. He turns up in his flying car and crashes through his own window.
Hang on.
Yeah.
They have flying cars in this world?
They have flying cars in this world and in the normal Fantastic Four world.
Hang on, there's a normal Fantastic Four world?
That's
Right.
it's actually called the Fantasticar.
That is Fantastica work.
So there's bad stuff on each side of this portal.
That's right. There are terrible puns wherever you look. Marty can't escape it. Anyway, so Mr. Fantastic turns up and says, like I thought that something might be up, so I've been watching on video or something like that. And he starts having a fight with Captain America, and he grabs a stake, and he says, "I've prepared for this," which is weird.
Like a wooden stake?
Like a wooden stake.
Like a vampiric stake.
Like a vampiric stake. And so they have a fight, and Captain America turns that stake on Mr. Fantastic, and everyone's real confused about what's going on. And then Captain America turns around and he has giant fangs. That's all right. He is a vampire monkey version of Captain America.
But are they all vampires?
No, just him.
Right.
Peter, got to pull you up there. He's a vampire ape version.
Sorry about that.
But they're not all vampire ape versions.
All right. So then the invaders that we saw before turn up. Captain America's buddies from World War II.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Bucky.
all vampires. Bucky's a vampire. The Human Torch's sidekick is a vampire.
The Submariner.
The Submariner's a vampire. They're all vampires. They're all ape vampires. And this is the weirdest thing that I've ever read.
Wow.
Yeah. So
And
That's
it's
why they're still alive.
and they're all standing next to this portal. Is it still open this
no,
whole time?
it's not open. They couldn't get it open. So they're like, all right, cool. We're going to go into the normal Marvel universe as giant ape vampires. We'll be able to beat up everyone and drink all the blood we want. Let's open this portal and let's get out of here.
all the ape blood.
No, human blood.
Human blood. They want human blood.
They want human blood?
Yeah.
Is that compatible?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, actually.
Imagine getting there and being like, crap, now we'd have to go to the zoo and like drain the mandrill.
Because isn't it like on
That sounds like a euphemism.
in Buffy and stuff like that? I'm pretty sure they get by on non-human blood, but it's sort of a lower level. Like Angel
You got to drink more, do you?
drinks like cow's blood or
Oh
something.
yeah, the Spike has pig's blood in
Pig's
the,
blood.
in the fridge or something.
Yeah. So it feels like that'd be a lesser blood for the apes.
Yeah, maybe they haven't really thought this through.
Right.
Anyway, so
It's like they've got unlimited blood here. It doesn't feel like it's a. Anyway, I don't want to pick holes in this. Obviously,
it's
very well put
pretty
together.
watertight though for the most part.
And the big question is, people in this ape world, did they know
No,
that Captain America and this crew were vampires?
no,
Right.
It's not public knowledge. So Marty and Fiona are able to escape and get out of there.
they're able to escape.
Oh. Escape. Huh? Finally, got one. Yes.
Dave, you're slipping, Dave.
It feels so good. It feels...
Jump on a vine, have a swing.
All right, I'll have a swing.
So they're able to escape, but what happens is Captain America goes out and says, actually, and frames them for murder, says they killed Mr. Fantastic. They're evil invaders from another dimension, and they're going to kill us. They're the vanguard of an army that are going to come and take over. So what we're going to have to do is open the portal and get in before them and take over their universe. He's doing this whole spin around kind of thing.
It made sense until that last bit. Why would everyone be on board with that?
I
We've
don't
got to
know.
take over their universe. Hang on, what?
Yeah. There's a lot of that
Preemptive
stuff.
strike.
I don't know. I just took it as this is how apes work. Captain America's top ape. Like everyone believes him.
Right.
Yeah.
And wait, so is this real Captain America now?
No, this is still the evil vampire version of Captain America.
Right.
Ape vampire.
And is that why he was all up for killing people and looking into Marty's eyes?
I'm not sure.
Is that a vampire thing?
I don't know whether that's a vampire thing or an ape thing. There might be a bit of an overlap.
Right.
Because vampires are pretty savage, but then again, so are apes. You know,
They can be.
they can be.
Some of them aren't. Bonobos love to bone bows.
Cool.
They solve things with love and boning.
Yeah, so I think because he is the top ape and he's a silverback gorilla, and I think that they can be very aggressive and have a rigid social structure. I think, and I might be making that up. Maybe his influence is making this sort of ape society of superheroes more savage than they need to be. Yeah. Anyway, so Marty and Fiona have escaped. And just when they think they can get it, they're being hunted by everyone. And then they're found by their old friend Speedball. And Speedball knocks Marty out. And you think, oh, no. So
Oh, no, he's been captured.
he's been captured. But he's actually been captured by the other side. So he's taken Marty to Doctor Strange's super secret interdimensional house. And there he meets all these other ape heroes that we haven't met before who are the outcasts. They're like the monkey outcasts in society. Yeah. And so there's a fight where no one understands what's going on for a little bit, because that's what happens in superhero stories is usually the heroes have a misunderstanding and they fight for a bit, and then they get over that, and then they go and fight the bad guys. So this is the bit where they fight for a
This
bit.
is like the pow zap.
Yeah. Pow,
Zoink.
zap, zoink. Yeah, there's
Zork.
lots of that. Zork.
I didn't say Zork.
And then, so these guys know that Captain America is a vampire,
Right.
but they can't prove it. And so that's why they're outcasts. That's why they don't want to be members of the Avengers. So they explain what's really happened to Captain America. So in the dying days of World War II, after Monkey Hitler had died and the Third Reich was sort of in chaos, Captain America was...
There was a monkey Hitler?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So there
What
is...
kind of monkey is Hitler?
I don't know. It doesn't really say, actually. He could be... He looks a bit like a chimpanzee, but they're all kind of drawn a bit the same. So unless they're making a big effort to differentiate, they're all kind of like monkey-ish.
You can tell they're a monkey, right?
Yeah. So in the dying days of World War II, Captain America and Bucky are sent to mop up like this sort of super secret Nazi installation. And while he's there, he gets attacked by Baron Blood, who is a vampire, like this sort of science vampire. And he drinks all of Captain America's blood. And because he's a super secret science vampire, he can transform into other people. So he drinks all of Captain America's blood, makes him really strong, and then he takes on the identity of Captain America.
Oh, so this isn't even Captain America.
No, so this is an evil vampire pretending to be Captain America.
Is he like a scroll? I don't understand scrolls really, but I've heard people say it a lot.
Yeah.
They're shape-shifting aliens, right?
Yeah, he's kind of like a shape. He's not an alien, though. He's a vampire. There's a big difference.
Right.
You keep up.
Sorry. I was looking up Hitler monkey.
Did you find him?
I wasn't able to find it, but I did find an article in dailystar.co.uk, which headline is Nazi chimpanzee shocks zoo visitors with Hitler salute.
Wow. So that could be him.
It could be him.
He crossed over into this world and
He got through the portal.
He got through the portal and he's been living in a zoo. So
Case closed.
these outcast heroes explain that all of the other invaders were then bitten by Baron Blood and became like his super team. And
So are they themselves or someone pretending to be them?
No, they're themselves.
But they're just under his control.
They're vampire versions of themselves. And this is important because Baron Blood can go outside in the daytime because he's a science... This sounds so stupid. He is a science vampire.
This bit sounds stupid.
Yeah. And you can see him in reflections because later on when they're trying to say, "Hey, you're a vampire," he's like, "No, you can look in this mirror. Look in this big mirror that we've got here.
Got you there.
Yeah, I'm actually a real person. I'm sorry, I'm a real ape, just like you, flesh and blood." But the invaders are all normal ape vampires. Again, what a phrase, normal ape vampires. And they burn in sunlight and all that kind of stuff.
Ah, so they can only come out at night.
Yep.
Very similar to me.
Yep, just like Matt. Anyway, so our friend Marty says, well, look, how are we going to solve this? Captain America's convinced everyone went bad. He's going to open up a portal to get to the normal Marvel universe and drink everyone's blood. Why don't we find the original Captain America?
Good plan.
And we'll get him and he'll solve everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jeez, I want to see all this in the movies.
Now, when you say original Captain America, do you mean the original Captain Ape America?
Yes, from the United Simian Union or
So-
whatever it was.
Is he being kept alive somewhere?
Right. So, oh man, this okay. So in
He's
the
had his
normal,
blood drained.
yeah,
It makes it sound like these books are like novel length, but they're
No,
only
they're really
20
short.
something pages each.
Really?
yeah,
It's amazing. They get a lot in there.
it's so dense. Okay, so in the normal Marvel universe, Captain America at the end of World War II, as he is encased in a block of ice and he gets thawed out by the Avengers in the not Thor orangutan.
Who was he orangutanged out? The orangutan smash.
He gets found by the Avengers and then thawed out, and he's like lost 30 years, and he's sort of a man at a time.
Oh,
Yeah. So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be joking there. I didn't realize.
It's a serious issue.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's a real serious issue. It happens to a lot of people. They get frozen and then they just miss out on like 30 or 40 years.
Yeah, come on, have some cultural sensitivity, please, Matthew.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Imagine if you fell into a block of ice now and then woke up 40 years later.
Ugh, tell you what, I'd be furious.
You'd be real angry and you'd have a hard time adjusting to ape society.
Yeah, of course. I mean, firstly, ape society.
That's right, yeah. In the 40 years.
That happens.
Yep.
Through the portal, or that would just evolve that way?
That's just going to happen
Okay.
right here, right now, in the next 40 years.
Yeah, it's just going to happen. I can't explain it.
Hang on.
Don't need to.
Statue of Liberty. That was our plan.
Oh, you bastards. You blew it all up.
Damn you.
Yeah. Soylent Green is people. Oh, sorry, Matt. Anyway, so Marty comes up with the idea that we'll find the original Captain America. He'll sort it out. The Captain America he knows was frozen in a block of ice. So why wouldn't this ape Captain America also be frozen in a block of ice? No reason, I guess. So they fly to the Antarctic and they find this Captain America, and they start reviving him. There's an ape magician in there, not Doctor Strange, but someone else.
An ape magician. You're
ape
talking
magician.
like close-up magic?
Yeah, that's right. Just as
Which is your card?
card tricks. Yeah. He's less powerful than Doctor Strange. He can only do sort of...
Light entertainment.
Light entertainment, saws people in half. So he uses his amazing powers of light entertainment and, like the $5, the dinner show to get Captain America out of this block of ice. But then the evil invaders...
Does he saw it in half?
Yeah, by sawing it in half. And then he puts it back together again. And ta-da, like he's all good. The vampire invaders turn up and they have a big fight. It turns out that one of the outsiders is like a double agent.
Oh, no.
Yeah, oh no. It's Dr. Bruce Banana, who is...
Bruce Banner.
I'm clapping because I reckon they thought of that and then built this universe around that
Pretty much.
pun.
Yeah.
Bruce Banana.
It's not that big a plot point. I just wanted to say Bruce Banana.
Bruce Banana.
So Bruce
Oh,
Banana...
of course, in Australia, we call him Bruce
Banana. Yep.
Played by Eric Barner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or in this universe, played by Eric Banana.
What happens next? What happens next? So
they're thawing him.
yeah.
Is this the real Captain America?
Yes.
How did he get in the ice?
I'm not sure.
Because wasn't his body like in Germany, like drained of all its blood?
Yes.
Ah, right.
Yeah. So I'm not quite sure what happened. I think
I was worried that this is going to be a decoy, but no, it is him.
A second decoy.
Yeah,
That would
just
get frustrating.
Too many Captain Americas.
yeah. I'm
Um,
glad
No,
that-
I'm Captain America.
So what happens is the evil invaders capture Fiona because she's the key to getting this portal to work, and they take her back to the Fantastic Four headquarters, and they're going to use her to open the portal, and just as they do, all of the outsiders show up and they have a big fight. There's this big superhero fight, and in the midst of it, Captain America turns up and fights the evil.
That'd be a good battle. America
vampire
on America.
America on America. America v. America.
Oh,
Smackdown.
Civil War.
That's cool.
Pretty much, yeah.
That shit is bananas.
And then
Bananas.
Sorry.
it's revealed that the evil Captain America is a vampire, and he transforms like he's like this sort of giant-eyed goblin-looking thing, but also a monkey. So everything's a monkey.
Right.
Like it's really
When you say giant, like kind of like Venom kind of looking?
no more like Gollum.
Oh.
Yeah. So he looks like a sort of purple golem with a tail. And Marty sees this is my opportunity. I'm going to save the day. I'm going to kill the big bad and solve everyone's problems. And so he stabs the evil Captain America, Baron Blood, through the heart.
Oh, I thought he
Heart
was going to
with a
get it
stake.
wrong because he's a loser.
But he does get it. wrong.
no.
Oh, no. Because he's got two hearts.
No, he's such a loser. He stabs him on the wrong side of the chest.
Oh, no.
Because everything's backwards there.
No.
You know, opposite of a human, an ape.
No, it's just Marty's such a dumbass. Like he's just not very
He
good.
stabs him in the lung.
Mm-hmm.
Got that lung.
So Baron Blood then bites Monkey Speedball, and says, "Look, if you want to help him, you have to take him through the portal." Like, this is one of these things where it's like, I don't understand what's going on, but that's fine. So they try and take him through the portal to save him, and then they close the portal, and there's a big fight between the monkeys on the other side, in which Marty says, "I don't know what's like." It happens from Marty's point of view, where he says, "I bet there was a big fight." And we sort of see like there's some chaos and things, but Marty's going, it must have been such a titanic fight, but I wasn't there, so I don't really know what happened.
Yeah, right. Cheeky monkey.
So they've saved the day. They've gotten through the portal. They're back to Marvel Universe that we know and love, and they've got Monkey Speedball with them. And then there's like 4 or 5 pages in which Monkey Speedball talks about how the evils of an all-ape society.
4 or 5 pages.
It seems to go on for a long time. It's this sort of
Just
epilogue.
looking down the barrel.
Yeah, it's pretty much gone, no, they say, "Oh, we're going to help you get back to your normal universe." He says, "No, it's not that great."
Oh, so they introduce him into the main universe.
Yeah, so the end of this story is Monkey Speedball showing up with the real Avengers, and they're all shocked. A, because he's a monkey, and B, because he's also Speedball, this guy that they
hate.
That they hate, yeah.
But he didn't do anything for them to hate now.
No, he's not. But
So it's sort of their way of replacing him without having to...
I think so. I don't know. I haven't read anything where he's in it. So,
But he did go on to be in, do you know?
No, I don't know.
No, I don't know.
And that little boy grew up to be.
That'd be so cool if he ended up being in the main Marvel universe for a while.
I think he may have.
I love
the
that
implication that that he is, but it's all very, that's the sort of wink wink at the end. Oh, also that Ape X that didn't exist in the normal universe.
Yeah.
There's a little bit where we see a guy finding this Mexican wrestling mask that transforms him into Ape, like a superhero, which is the same thing as Ape X. Yeah. And that's the end of the story.
Wow.
Whew.
It's big. A lot goes on.
Questions? Dave, you
I mean,
look like you've got a few questions.
What a masterpiece.
Yeah. It was.
4 issues or 5 issues?
4 issues with a 0 issue that has a couple of issues. I'm sorry, that has a couple of stories about the gibbon. So you know who he is before the story starts.
Right on. And has Marty done much since? Has he appeared in many comics? Or do people not really like Marty?
I don't think so.
But he did save the day. Let's give it up for Marty. Matt?
Yeah, let's give it up.
Yeah,
Marty.
okay. Shall we, on 3, shall we all give it
Okay,
up?
here we go.
Okay.
Marty, this is for you. No one's ever cared before, but finally.
No. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Well done, Marty.
Marty.
Congratulations.
Marty Blank. Thanks for giving us this great story.
Oh, wow.
That was good.
Thank you. Been waiting for that.
I had a read about the other appearances of Marty, and the most notable thing that I could find was that he stole She-Hulk's tuna sandwich out of the fridge where she works.
So that's his claim to fame.
He's a regular Larry Bird
Yeah.
who famously stole Michael Jordan's sandwich once.
And then told a great story about it in his autobiography.
You really should check out his autobiography.
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird takes
Wait,
flight.
is he an actual bird?
Yes.
Oh, God.
This is in the Bird universe.
Twist.
Yeah.
That's so good. Thanks so much for reading and retelling.
I actually do have a question.
Yeah.
So this is the Ape universe spin-off. And I understand there are many other
Yeah.
universes spin-off. Is there anything else that's sort of like, just as like, sort of as a concept, kind of humorous?
The precursor to this one was the Marvel Zombies universe.
Oh, okay.
So it was a universe in which all the Marvel superheroes have been infected with this zombie virus, and they go around eating people. And that one I think was slightly more serious, but it had a lot of the same stuff where they just have like a gross zombie version of the Marvel.
And is there something come after this series where did I read maybe Apes versus Vampires?
That's right, Apes versus Vampires.
That exists?
Yeah, apparently.
I mean, this story was Apes versus Vampires.
Yeah, I think
No, sorry, Apes versus Zombies.
Oh, it's the zombie universe.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
The zombie universe you're talking about comes and they take each other on somehow.
Pretty much, Marvel has never met an idea that they couldn't steal or borrow or just cram into their universe.
Wait, you saying they didn't come up with apes?
No.
Are they releasing hundreds of issues every week? Is that how
I think so. Oh, several dozen anyway.
Several
Like,
dozen every week.
not every week, maybe every month.
Okay.
So
Wow.
because just to have these ideas, and then everyone's got their own. Spider-Man's got his own series, and
Yeah, and they're always jumping into alternate universes. They're always running around in creating new timelines for themselves and just sort of messing things up, and they get really complicated and confusing very, very quickly. But that's the fun.
yeah. And do they respect each other's stories, or sometimes the people
No.
are like that didn't happen, forget that?
Yep. Yeah. People rewrite continuity all the time.
Yeah, that's I find that confusing. But
That's the way it is.
hey, they're Marvel.
I can't believe the list of characters in this 4-part series. There's so many characters in it.
A lot of them are like background.
Right.
They just sort of to flesh out the scene. There'd be a couple of Avengers that don't have any lines, but like Spider Ape Woman or what was the Black Widow? So Scarlett Johansson's character in the Marvel Universe is called the
Black Widow Orangutan.
Yes.
So that feels weird because then they'll have other ones that are like Dagger, a primate version of Dagger.
Mm-hmm.
Or Dr. Druid, a primate version of Dr. Druid.
That's
or
right.
Doctor Strange, a gorilla version of Doctor Strange. Elektra, a primate version of Elektra. But then...
Oh, and there's also Spider-Man's sort of adopted father, Uncle Ben, who has his own Spider Monkey version, Uncle Ben.
Yeah, monkey version. and there's a monkey version of Aunt May as well.
Mm-hmm.
What
was her name, Matt?
Aunt May.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
Got it.
Hang on, but his uncle is a spider monkey, so he didn't have to get bitten by a radioactive spider in this version?
That's a good question. I don't know.
That is a very good question. Yeah, there must be something about that as well.
He could still be bitten by a radioactive spider.
I suppose, yeah, just the spider just doubles up.
So they got like Angels, a primate version of Angel, Beast, a primate version of Beast, Cannibal, a primate version of Cannibal.
Yeah.
It goes on like that. Cyclops. Then Ice Monk, a primate version of Ice Man.
Yep.
I thought Mandrill for man, but they've moved it away. And then the Jean Grey version in this world is called Marvel Chimp.
Yeah, so her name originally was Marvel Girl, I think.
Oh, okay.
Or something like that.
Right.
So yeah, she's Marvel Chimp.
Shadow Cat, a
Yeah.
primate version of Shadow Cat. There's Cat. Surely you can change Cat to an...
But then I think Shadowcat's whole gimmick is that she's like a cat, maybe?
Right. Yeah, fair call. All right. Yeah, because you couldn't change it so that her gimmick was that she was an ape.
Or maybe her name's Catherine, Yeah.
That's cool.
And Shadowcat's just a better way of saying Shadow Catherine.
Shadow Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should go with that.
Oh, there's another one so Dr. Ook. There's another Ook one.
Yeah.
Loki. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Is known as Leuki.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, and also Ultron in this is Ooktron.
Ooktron.
I didn't know Ook was even a common thing.
Yeah, I guess they had a list of things that could reasonably be
Oh, there's more. There's
monkey-based puns.
Batroc the Leaper is Batrook.
Batrook. Yeah.
I don't know. Tiger Shark is Tigerilla.
Oh, there's Giant Man is called Growrilla in this, which is it could be an improvement, to be honest, on Giant Man as a name.
Giant Man's fun. All right. This is also from that IGN review. Kessel, who's one of the writers. I guess we should give the credits for this.
Yeah. Who?
Carl Kessel is the writer, and the artist is Raymond Bax. Is that right? Or Barks?
I've never heard it spoken out loud. But yeah, the art's really fun. It's kind of sort of cartoony. Everyone's sort of this really good sort of facsimile of their Marvel counterpart.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. I reckon this review's a bit rough on it.
Yeah.
As a genuine comic book guy, what would you say?
How
many bananas?
Out of how many?
How ripe is the banana? I think is what we're going with these days. Is it a rotten banana? Or is it ripe is better?
I think it's just ripe.
Just ripe.
Like it might be slightly. You should have eaten it yesterday.
Right.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the weird the fact that they were all vampire apes. I thought that was a fun turnaround, and I like this idea that everything is the same except they're actually brutal and horrible.
Right.
It's a horrible place to live.
It's like they haven't been civilized
No.
by millions of years.
No, but they build complicated cities.
Yeah.
They have giant. Actually, I don't think they have any cars.
Except for the flying car.
Like, sorry, they've got a fantastic car. That's right, but they don't. I can't remember seeing any normal cars. But most of the time, we're in parks. They're really into greenery. I mean,
But also very good at just getting around on foot.
Yep.
Or on hand. So this is from that IGN review. So Kessel himself sneaks in a small amount of self-mockery, which suggests he understands the whole premise is ridiculous. And as it turns out, along with some solid cartooning by Raymond Bax, it's this very attitude that almost, but not quite, saves Marvel Apes from complete obnoxiousness. One of the things he's talking about there, the sort of self-mockery thing, is, I think it's on the first page or the second page, it says Marvel proudly presents, but it's crossed out proudly. Bit of bloody fun there.
Yeah, I thought it was enjoyable, and I think it's worth a look. You know,
have a bloody look. Oh yeah, the sequel is Marvel Zombies versus Marvel Apes. So something I've been trying to start to do here in recent weeks is get the guests to give us an alternative name. So this is called Marvel Apes.
Yep.
If you had to rename it, what would you call it?
Marvel vapes. Everyone vapes, but it's
So
normal. That's the vape universe.
Okay, so
Everyone's just constantly vaping.
are they still apes?
No,
No, it's all humans just vaping.
Right.
vaping
They're
all
not-
the time.
They're not vapor. It's not this universe where everyone is made out of gas instead of.
Oh, that could be a good plot twist.
Yeah.
That's why they have to vape.
Oh,
There's actually medical reasons to vape.
That keeps
And
them
also, it
solid.
makes you look super cool.
that's
Does
right.
it?
Well,
Yeah.
that's the main reason
Yeah.
to do it. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Marvel shapes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So this is the Marvel universe, except where everyone's a flat two-dimensional shape.
Right.
So you have heroes like Captain America, except he's a giant square.
Cyclops is Circle Ops.
Yep, Circle Ops. That'll be good. And Spider-Man is Spider Monkey. Yeah, that's it.
But flat.
But flat, yeah, and
And
a shape.
can I just ask where the vaping comes into it?
Well, they are all vaping all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right,
Very
this
cool.
is a cool new
This is a
direction
cool
for
universe.
Marvel.
Marvel vapes.
If you were going to pick a character out of... might be harder for you, Dave, because you only just heard about these. But if you're going to pick a character that you relate to the most out of these apes, who would it be?
Probably the lovable loser, Marty Blank.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the gibbon too.
Yeah, I mean, he just can't do anything right.
Yeah, I mean, I've done some things right.
I have tried to stab someone in the heart before and missed.
Yeah.
So I really related to that scene.
To be honest, it's kind of annoying because he is the hero of the story, but he is unable to affect any change at all. He just gets pushed from situation to situation. He can't actually control any part of his life, which I found kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
Like Marty, just stand up for yourself, get your act together. And
Wait,
then he wouldn't listen and he couldn't hear me because
Because he's a two-dimensional shape.
yes, that's right.
was-
Vaping.
There was an early scene that confused me where he's a gibbon man.
Yeah.
So he's basically a humanoid gibbon.
Yep.
And in his closet was like a fursuit.
I was trying to
But
work
he was
that out.
just he was there in his jocks
So
full of fur.
in his first appearance, he is just a guy that looks vaguely like an ape.
Right.
And he works for the circus because he's very
Andy Serkis?
Yeah, he works for Andy Serkis, and Andy Serkis' circus. And he does acrobatics there at Andy Serkis' circus. And then he wears a suit, but then after he decides that he hates Spider-Man, there's another Spider-Man villain called Kraven the Hunter, who gives him a magic potion that makes him more apish. But I'm not sure. I tried to look it up online, but there's surprisingly little information about the gibbon.
Let's get this thread going.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's try and flesh it out. I don't know whether he was born looking like a monkey or that happened to him as part of some superhero stuff.
Because it does sound like part of this story, the doctor did say that her guess was that he's always been that way. And that's why it was interesting to her, because most mutants mutate in puberty.
Yeah.
So that was why she thought maybe he's from another dimension or something.
Yeah, that's a plot line that is announced and then forgotten about pretty quickly.
Yeah, Yeah, what was she trying to do?
He's the whole reason that they get transported to that particular monkey verse rather than any other of the possible universes that they could have gone to.
Right.
And she is the way that they can get back to her universe. So he's got some sort of link, but then they
don't
fail to follow up and say what that is.
I wonder if they do that in the future.
It could be, yeah, maybe they're saving it for later on.
Which would be cool. I hate it when they come up with something big like that. I'm saying I hate it when they do it. I assume they have. I hate it when anyone does this, where they come up with a big thing. It seems important, and then they don't even tie it off. They just let it go.
It may have, I don't know.
Just a quick explanation is all I want.
Turns out that I'm from that universe.
Yeah. But I like it in this other one better, so I'm going back.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, I think that almost brings us to, unless do you want to give it a rating there, Dave? A ripeness rating?
4 bananas.
4 bananas.
Wait, no, that's not, isn't it ripeness?
4 bananas.
4 ripe bananas?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay.
Jeez. How big is your bunch?
Dozen,
A dozen. So a third of a bunch ripe.
but very, perfectly ripe.
Perfectly ripe, which is better than a full bunch that is rotten.
Yes.
That's a trick. It's a confusing system.
So pretty much Dave's done this rating system where if we were using the 2 thumbs up method, he's given it 8 separate thumbs. Like
Now, if we were giving 2 thumbs up,
4 sets of 2.
I would still give 4 bananas. Let me just...
So out of
4
5
bananas
stars, you give it.
4 bananas.
Got it.
Okay. And out of a fruit basket?
Yep. 4 bananas.
All right. Well, that brings us to everyone's favourite segment on this show. It's the Primate Sporting Mascot segment.
Hooray.
I thought Peter would be excited about this one.
I am.
I realised as I was going back through my notes, because a few people have suggested a few different mascots. And a little while ago, I talked about Apollo the Florida launch mascot, who's a lacrosse mascot in America. But I didn't shout out to the guy who actually made me aware of him, which is Jonathan Holt. He suggested it, saying, "This is Apollo the Florida launch mascot. He is related, in inverted commas, based on the first primate in space, Albert. Albert died of suffocation during his flight. You know, perfect for the kiddos."
Right. So they sent him up to space, but they didn't give him enough oxygen.
Yeah, that really does sound like the NASA has not been good
No.
to primates.
So this is one of those ones where they would send animals up into space, but then not really have...
A plan to get them back?
No. It's just to see how long they would survive in space without oxygen.
Oh, my God.
What a successful test. We found out not very long.
28 seconds.
28 seconds.
Yeah, it really is a bummer. Because you look up to NASA growing up, you watch Tom Hanks in NASA.
Yep.
The movie.
Yeah, you got Luke Jedi is up there in NASA.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the pointy ears have all worked for NASA in the past, and you grow to find
Andy
them.
Serkis.
Andy Serkis, thank you. And you grow to find them to be, your heroes, and then you hear about how they mistreat. Like it's pretty fucked.
It's pretty horrible, yeah.
They don't do that anymore, do they? That's one of those. It was a different time.
Well, but they don't need to. They've already proved how long it takes for an ape to suffocate in space.
They only do that once.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't do too much A/B testing on that. Ape-B testing. Sorry.
Ape banana testing.
But so that was. I just wanted to give a shout out there to Jonathan because I bloody forgot last time, which was a dog act.
Oh.
And you know how we feel about dogs here.
Oh, don't like them.
4 bananas.
But also, Rob Cranmere has messaged in for this week's Primate Sporting Mascot. And his team, the Norwich City Canaries,
Ooh.
is a soccer team in the championship. So I think that's one league down.
Yeah.
And he tweeted in saying, "Hi, Matt. For a while, my club, Norwich City, was sponsored by the insurance company Aviva. For some reason, this meant we ended up with the Aviva Lemur as a mascot. Hope this helps."
Even though they're the Canaries.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was wondering where that was going.
I do love any sort of corporation who can just squeeze in a bit of fun.
Wait, so the corporation, their
Aviva.
mascot is a lemur.
I think so.
Right.
The Aviva Lemur. Anyway, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I tried to find out more about it. And there wasn't heaps on the internet about it, but I did find a fan forum, pinkon.com. And this post,
Which is a specific one to this one lemur.
yes, it's a lemur, Aviva Lemur specific forum. And this is a post by Huddy titled "Half Time Aviva Lemur Embarrassing."
Oh.
Said, when the halftime whistle went this evening, I didn't think it could get any worse. I was wrong.
Oh.
Okay, the idea may be good. Kids designing mascots. The delivery, awful.
Oh.
So it's not the kid's fault. It's the delivery man. What was it?
I guess it got damaged in transit.
Too much wrapping.
Too
Why
much
so
wrapping.
much bubble wrap?
Yeah.
What bubble wrap damaged it? It was too
No.
much bubble wrap.
It's just that, you get this ugly looking parcel. And
Oh, I see.
yeah.
He said, I stood there anticipating something exciting as the Aviva dancers formed a guard of honor around the tunnel entrance. So it was unannounced. Something big was going to happen.
Who formed the guard?
The Aviva dancers.
Sorry, who are they?
Wait, Aviva, it's an insurance company, so I don't know.
They have a
got
team of
dancers.
dancers on call.
It feels like your insurance dollars are going to some pretty bizarre
I know.
things.
Wow.
So they've got a guard of honor. So I'm guessing they've got pom-poms or whatever, and everyone's going, wow, what's going to
that's-
happen
No,
here?
they don't have rifles and,
Oh.
and sabers or something.
True respect.
Was it a new signing? He wondered to himself. This is what Huddy's thinking. Was it a new signing? Was it an investment? Whatever. Or was it an old hero? Huckabee's farewell, maybe?
Not Huckabee. He's going.
Capital N, capital O. No. Cometh the hour, cometh the Aviva Lemur. A lemur? More like a big-eared Disney character.
Ooh.
An interesting species, perhaps made in rural Norfolk. Could it get worse? Yes.
Yes.
I don't understand what this line means. Murray Walker was ready with the tannoy or tannoy.
Oh, that's a speaker system.
Okay, great.
I was going to say that that's like lidament. It's what you rub into the into the athlete's legs to try and warm them up.
No, Titano is like a PA system.
I think you're wrong, Dave. I think
And,
you'll find that it's
and
sports medicine.
Murray Walker, isn't he the guy he's the voice of Formula One?
Oh wow! So it's like that's big time. I mean, I think Norwich City is a big team, a pretty big team.
Yeah, wow.
I'm just going to have to disagree with you again, Dave.
Okay.
Pretty
So
sure
who
that-
is Murray Walker?
He used to host the Great Australian Joke segment on Hey Hey Saturday.
And now he's rubbing powder into for sore players'
That's
injured legs.
Well, I think
The
both
mighty fallen.
the PA system or the leg rubbing stuff both make sense because he goes on to say a finishing line was erected in front. He throws in weird capitals. He put capital AFL, a finishing line. Anyway, a finishing line was erected in front of the Gerald, I guess as a stand, and we were all set for the big race. Captain Canary battling against the new upcoming mascot, the young pretender. But it got better. I was saying before, could it get worse? Yes, and now it's getting better.
That's
What a
good.
roller coaster. 2 or 3 laps of the centre circle travelling in opposite directions we needed before a dash to the line. Enthralling stuff. By this point, it was so bad I found it funny. It was laughable. With Captain Canary running away with it like Usain Bolt, Splat the cat, not to be forgotten, stepped in. I don't know where he's come from. He did a better job of tackling than Danny Caprini. Well, that's a bit. I mean, don't bring Caprini into it. Obviously, he had a bad night on the field, and delayed long enough for Aviva Lemur to complete his last lap.
I'm on the edge of my seat. I just want to know who wins.
Aviva Lemur.
Oh,
He said,
robbed.
He self-censors himself here. He goes, "What the asterisk hell is that seemed appropriate?"
What 3-letter word is he putting in there?
What the cat?
What the cat hell are you doing?
He goes, "A slippery slope, I tell you." Anyway, that's all I could really find about the Aviva Lemur. I love the fact that it existed briefly.
The Aviva Lemur. So lemurs are not primates, but they're like a primate adjacent species.
I think they are primates technically, aren't they?
Tell us more about lemurs.
They're
Matt.
from Madagascar.
Yeah, the lemur is a primate. It was, according to Wikipedia, and I think we can all
yeah.
we can all take that on board.
But they're kind of like cats.
The word lemur derives from the word lemurs, ghosts or spirits, from Roman mythology.
Oh.
Do you want to get some lemur facts and information from lemurworld.com?
Just stop me.
Let's see if there's anything quick here. Jeez.
Wait, is Lemur World? Do you think that there's a Marvel Lemurs version?
Oh,
Where
there's
there's a
gotta
whole
be.
world populated by lemur versions of the Marvel superheroes.
Just lemurs.
Just lemurs.
This is their introduction. I'll just read very briefly. The lemur is the smallest of all primates, and very few people even realize that they belong to this particular type of animal.
Oh, me included.
Well, not anymore. Early evolution shows that they were once as large as an adult gorilla, though.
Whoa.
This is based on
Very
fossil
large.
remains that are millions of years old. The lemur is believed to have gotten smaller in order to adapt to living in the trees and rely on less food for survival.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
The lemurs.
And why are they playing football?
No, well, no, they're not playing football. They're running.
Insurance brokers.
They're doing a running race at a football game
Oh, that makes sense.
on the weekend, and yeah, Monday to Friday, obviously.
Go into the office,
The insurance
They'll
game.
sort out your insurance.
make a coffee first thing,
So that
walk over to the cubicles, answer the phone.
that's been the Primate Sporting Mascot segment for another successful week. I've got a new segment idea that I want to start now. It was suggested by Ben Russell. Yesterday I was talking to him. He's been on an episode recently about the rise of the Planet of the Apes. He said we should do a new segment called Circus Watch. It's about Andy Serkis.
Oh, brilliant.
And I haven't, at this stage, all it really is, I mean, Andy Serkis is the preeminent on-screen ape man.
Yep.
He's played Caesar, the greatest of all on-screen apes, in the Planet of the Apes reboot series. He's also played King Kong in the Peter Jackson King Kong.
Wait, you're going to say that Caesar is greater than King Kong?
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, are you questioning that or?
But King Kong has got king in the name.
Yeah, I mean, sure, in his universe he's the king, but Caesar.
I think Caesar actually translates to king.
Wow.
True fact.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
His name is King.
Wow, that's
Peter.
stand corrected.
I didn't think you were going to be able to be taken down so swiftly.
4 bananas.
So he's the main man, and we want to get him on the show. All right, that's the new dream of this show. So if anyone listening has any leads,
Or if he's listening himself.
or if you're listening,
Don't
obviously,
sell
Andy.
yourself.
No, that's
social.
true, Andy. If you are listening, please get in contact. That would be the 1 degree of separation that would make this all a lot quicker and easier. But if anyone else knows him, if you know him personally, or you know someone who knows him, or even if you've seen him somewhere one time,
Or if you've seen one of his movies.
that's right.
Let us know which one.
Anything at all, really, just get in contact to the email address primatespod@gmail.com. And if you just want to put your, what do you call the thing that's at the top? The title of the email? What do you call them?
Subject line.
Subject line. Give your subject line Circus Watch.
Circus Watch.
And hopefully we'll have more to update in
You
future
really need
weeks.
like a great sound, introduction theme music to that, like a sort of news report. Circus Watch.
Okay, I'm going to cut that out potentially and use it.
That was good.
I did one quick fact I did read about him. Apparently, he has sex 4 or 5 times a day. Anyway,
Who with?
look, I thought, you keep private things private. I didn't want to read past the headline.
4 or 5 times a day.
I think that why not just settle on one number or another?
Yeah.
4 or 5
You think Andy Serkis gets bogged down in your strict rules?
is one of the times in which Andy Serkis is having sex. It's kind of, we're not sure. So that's why it's a 4 or 5.
Well, yeah, he's got those because he's got balls all over his body a lot of the time. So it's hard to know sometimes what is and what isn't sex.
It's covered in
Or,
balls.
or what is and what isn't Andy Serkis.
Yeah, that's true too. And then finally, another new segment.
So wait, you're hoping that Andy Serkis will be on the show now
One day Andy
Yeah.
Serkis is going to be on the show.
to talk about how many times he has sex?
No, that was just one fun fact.
Fun fact.
We're not going to get bogged down in the sex life of Andy Serkis. That's
No.
only one of his many facets.
Was this from lemurworld.com as well?
This was also from Lemur World, yes. They have a whole circus sex page. And also, this is another new segment. It's our new Patreon segment. So, you may know that Dave and I, in particular, Pete, not so much, to be honest, both host.
Well, actually, I do not know because you haven't said what you're doing yet.
Dave and I both host a podcast called Do Go On.
No, I don't do that.
But Pete did design the logo. So he is.
Yeah, you're part of the Do Go On universe.
Yeah.
Do Go On-iverse.
Right.
And obviously, Primates is also part of that world. And Dave's new podcast, which is out now.
Yeah, that's right. Just came out. Book Cheat. Check it out. So basically, in a way, that our other podcasts are spin-offs
Yes.
of Do Go On.
That's
So we've
right.
decided to keep them under the umbrella of the Do Go On media empire.
And you should definitely check out Book Cheap. What's the first couple episodes are about? I was on one of them.
Oh, basically, it's a book club where I've read the classic book or novel or play, so you don't have to. Basically, I
that's
tell
great.
two guests all about a play, give them the plot, the characters, the themes, that kind of thing, so you could go to any highbrow dinner party, which we're all invited to on many occasions, and pretend, bluff your way that you've read the book. So the first 2 episodes have been released. First one is The Picture of Dorian Gray, the Oscar Wilde novel.
Have you read that, Matt?
I haven't, but after listening, I can pretend
He
I
can
have.
pretend he has. And the second episode is all about the Shakespeare play Othello, and Matt Stewart was on that episode with Joel Dusha from Sans Pants Radio. And Matt, if I asked you if you've read Othello, would you be able to pretend you have?
Yeah, totally. It was a great read.
See? That's
Wow,
what
I'm
this show.
convinced.
This show transforms people.
So that's something that I would highly recommend. If you wanted to know what kind of that would be, this episode's not a bad little example of it, where Peader helped us pretend that we've read the
Marvel
classic Marvel Apes.
That's right. I can
So-
pretend now.
Next time you're at a fancy dinner party,
I'll be like,
the subject comes up.
hey, you know Speedball? Well, in one universe, he's not a fuckwit.
That's right.
Will that be accurate?
Yeah, I think so. Is that right?
Yep.
And it's the ape universe.
As of 2008, it was right, but it's probably out of date by now.
Oh, I see.
I'm sure that it's been retconned and reintroduced.
I don't even know what retcon means, but I'd pretend at a dinner party, I'd say yes.
Reconditioned?
Oh, right, great.
I don't know.
Oh.
Retroactively.
It's something to do with continuity.
Oh, right.
Re-continuity?
Right, retconned. It's fun.
It's a great word.
Sounds like an army word. I'm on a retcon mission.
Yes.
What does ret? Yeah, what's the ret? Returned?
Retcon is contracted from the phrase retroactive continuity.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's
Whoa.
from tfwiki.net.
Who would have guessed that one?
No, well, not us.
Retroactive continuity. That's good. Anyway, so I've been distracted. This segment, so the 3 podcasts at the moment, and potentially grow to more into the future. Phrasing the bar, anyone? But the at the moment, so we're putting our existing Patreon now. This podcast and also Dave's podcast, Book Cheat, that all comes under that same Patreon rather than having some sprawling amount of Patreons. So if you want to support this show, Primates, and the others, you can go to patreon.com/dogoonpod. And now that comes with rewards that include having your favorite primate read out on this podcast. So I'm going to read out a few listeners. It's amazing. I was thinking there's a few we're going to trickle through, and I was going to do one a week, but there's already there's so many already to get through. So I'm going to go through a bunch every episode. So we had, and everyone knows that I'm not good pronouncing names, so sorry about this, but Seri John Jones, and I'm sure you've corrected me on that before because I remember mucking that up another time. But your favorite primate is King Louis in Tailspin because the theme tune is incredible.
You're going to put that on the list? I don't know that. Tailspin.
Tailspin, you don't remember that one? It's a spin-off with...
Tailspin. Ooh. Lasers. I don't know.
That sounds really fun.
No, that's DuckTales. But
Oh.
I can't remember what
It's
Tailspin is.
the bear has a delivery service. There's a big plane that can land on the water.
It's
And
like...
it's got a kid that can surf on the air from behind it.
Yeah, it's a combination of Casablanca and The Jungle Book.
Oh,
As far as I remember.
I'm already there.
Yeah.
I love it.
So thank you so much, Seri John. Stephen Miller's favourite primate, very appropriate, the lemur. I'm sure he's all over lemur world.
Yeah.
And the reasoning behind that, love their wee face and tails.
Oh, wee face.
Love their wee face. That's getting into a niche thing there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure that's on Primate World. I mean, Lemur World.
Zach Llewellyn's favourite primate is the Megalodapus. Megalodapus,
Is that extinct?
which is the extinct lemur.
Right.
Why the Megalodapus?
It's
Because it's nicknamed a koala lemur. Nuff said. And I think that's probably the gorilla-sized lemur that we were just talking about.
Oh, I can't even imagine it. That'd be huge.
The London lad's favourite primate is the AA. He said, just look it up and you'll know why.
Oh, the II?
Oh, the II, great.
How are we spelling that, Peter?
How is it spelt, Matt?
A-Y-E, A-Y-E.
Oh, that is a cool looking thing.
It is...
It looks like a gremlin.
It's terrifying. So when IIs sort of wander into a village, the village leaves.
They just pack up their buildings.
They pack up the buildings and then they disappear. If you want to know more about the II, I recommend reading Last Chance to See, which is Douglas Adams's non-fiction work about extinct animals, which is pretty fascinating. Or watching the TV show with Stephen Fry, where he goes around and he sort of looks at all of these animals that Douglas Adams wrote about.
Right.
Yeah. And II is one of them.
So is it extinct then?
It was either, I don't know. I don't think it's extinct, but it's on the endangered species list. Sorry, not extinct animals, endangered animals.
All right, let's get behind the II.
Yeah.
Keep him going.
Oh, okay. Yeah, great. I wasn't sure which way you're going to go there.
No,
I thought you were going to say snuff it out for good. Keep these villagers safe. No, let's get behind it.
Imagine if you decided to dedicate your podcast to making one species of animal extinct.
Wow.
I would never do that.
That
That
would be
seems like
horrific.
something you would do, not me.
No, I want to keep the II going long.
Strong, about to get the friction on.
Yeah. Thank you for saving me.
I mean, I would give someone credit for having an idea, a dream, and then sticking to it. But yeah, that sounds pretty horrific if your dream is to kill a whole species of animal.
Yeah. What are you, Vampire Captain America or something? You dog?
Ape vampire Captain America.
Sorry, ape Vampire Captain America.
Not a dog.
True. But I reckon that's still to come.
Yeah, I don't think they had dogs. Like, there didn't seem to be any other animals in the universe, or other than, like, I don't think there were cows.
Yeah, they didn't do pets, and humans they don't have it all.
No,
It wasn't like a switcheroo scenario.
So, but wouldn't that change our universe if we didn't have any other?
It would change it quite a lot.
If we didn't have apes.
I don't
what
think
effect that
the
would have on
Empire
society.
State Building would still be there.
No.
I don't think. I don't know. That does bring us to the end of the episode. Thanks so much for joining us, Peter and Dave. Do you want to let people know where they can find you? Dave, obviously on your new podcast, Book Cheat.
Yes, thank you. At Book Cheat Pod on all the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Please check it out. That'd be really nice.
And you can find me at Peter Thomas. That's Peader. On Instagram. You can see my little scribbles and drawings and all that kind of stuff, and occasionally new podcast logos.
You really are a fantastic artist, I must say.
Thank you very much.
And
Big fan.
You're a fantastic person.
Thank you.
Your website's peterthomas.com.
That's right.
I'll
All
put
one
those both in the description. And if you could give us a 5-star review on iTunes, that would be sick. I would appreciate that a lot. Apparently, that's something that you're meant to ask people to do on podcasts. I always forget, but I'm doing it now. Look at me go. Now it's time for us to say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining us, Dave. And Peter, as we always finish on the show with a catchphrase we always say, but we sort of just riff it and pretend that we say it every week. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us, Dave and Peter. And Peter, as we always say on Primates Podcast,
Ape Vengers, assemble.
This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates. I mean, if you want. It's up to you.